Good evening.
Evening.
Thank you. So my name is Rachel and I work in the School of Computing at the University of Dundee, which was expecting a cheer for. And I work in an area called AAC, and that is called Alternative and Augmentative Communication, which is ironic really because part of it is designing computer systems for people who can't talk. So creating them a communication method. And the part that I'm most interested in is how can you improve a communication method that already exists. So for my PhD, I went out and tried to improve social communication for children who have autism. In reality, what this meant was that while everyone else in the computing department was doing serious things like satellites from NASA and so on, I was in a primary school with sparkly glue and post-it notes. Which is fine if that's what your PhD creates. But what I learned in my PhD is that actually autism's a lot more than just saying your people have autism and you people don't. I found that everyone's got autistic tendencies, especially me, that guy over there. Everyone's got something. And if you come up with something interesting in your research, you get to go and travel. You get to take that interesting idea you have and share it with other people who are interested in your interesting idea. Which is great. But what's better than that is that the university pays for this. That's an actual job. So this month, for example, I've been all over telling people about my new project. And my new project's called Stories at the Dentist. And what we do is we investigate how patients and dentists communicate with each other. I've been to Arbroath, Broughty Ferry, I've been across the river, I've been to St Andrews. Living the dream. But seriously though, on Friday I get to go to an international conference in Seattle to tell people about it. Yeah. There's no joke attached to that, I just want you to know that in this small world that is computing, there's an even smaller world that is computing for people with disabilities, and in that world, I am shit-hot. But part of all this travelling and getting to go to international places means I get to go on planes. You start off on trains, and you graduate to planes. But I started to get a bit stressed out when I fly. And it's not because of planes or I don't like to travel, it's because of people. Because people are stupid. The plane comes into the gate and it stops and the captain goes, well, everyone should please remain seated until the plane comes to a complete stop. And as soon as people see sight of the airport, they're up. Getting their bag out because something might have happened to that bag on the flight. The guy in front might steal it. I don't know of any other situation where it's deemed acceptable and socially appropriate to put your head in someone else's armpit and then stand there for 5 minutes. Because you don't speak to anyone on a plane. Planes are quite interesting social experiments. Because, and I'm not talking the BA type travel, I'm talking EasyJet, Ryanair, where you're kicking people out of the way from the seat. I'm talking when you get on a plane and someone sits here, it's a bit like when men go to the bathroom, so I'm told. I'm missing an anatomical part, so I don't know for sure. But apparently, men don't. This is uncomfortable. So not like women. This is great. So what I've started doing is sitting in the middle seat in the front row, because don't stand in that bit either. Sitting in the middle seat in the front row. It avoids all this idiocy behind me, and it also means that I've got plenty of leg room. So I thought. Because you get on the plane and you sit in the middle, brilliant, loads of leg room, and then the air stewardess sits down here. Brilliant. So you get out that magazine they give you, you know, the one that tells you all the amazing stuff about places you're not going to. And I always think there should be one for the place you're going to, so when you're flying back into Dundee, you know, best place for nightlife, Nine Wells. Best shopping experience, Poundland. I definitely recommend that one. And travel essentials, Stab-proof vest. Definitely needed. So, yeah, I get stressed by travel. But I managed to travel to Atlanta fairly recently. which was quite interesting. And I had to change at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. So has anyone ever been to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit in it. Shit. So they charge you €50 for, they call it a bit pizza, a bite of pizza. And I'd learned French at school, and I learned a bit after school, and I thought, yeah, I've got all the French I need in the world. And then I realised I don't know real French, because real French has one word in the vocabulary. Excuse me, yeah, where can I reclaim my baggage from? Excuse me, I'm a flight, I need to get past security, where? So, but the best part is when you're flying transatlantic, there's always this kind of passive-aggressive, middle-aged lady who's got that little laptop on wheels, and she says to you, "Did you pack your bag, madam?" "Mm-hmm." "Who packed the bag, madam?" "Me." You kind of feel she's trying to trick you into telling you, "Oh, a stranger gave me the bag, and it's full of heroin and guns." But finally I get on this plane to Atlanta, and I'm in seat 37B, so that's 37 rows of seats I have to get back. And I'm sitting down, and then this guy comes along. He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to step off this plane." That's my generic American accent. And he is huge, wide shoulders. And so I follow him off the plane. Well, I say follow, or he followed me like this and led me off the plane. And we get out, and the lady says, "I need your passport number." "Oh, that's on the plane." So back on the plane I go, still with the man. Can't be trusted to go mowing if they don't have my passport number. And everyone on the plane's doing that thing where they've decided you're a criminal and they really want to look, but they don't want to be caught looking. So they're just going to follow you around like this. So we get all this sorted out, and I get my passport number, and I'm allowed to be on the plane. But it's a long 10 hours to Atlanta, when you have to be absolutely still. Because the slightest movement, I may try to itch my foot. She's probably a terrorist. And I went to the bathroom, and I think they stayed like that till I came out. I was tempted to just stay in there a wee bit longer to see what would happen, but I'm already a terrorist. The last thing I need is to be an idiot as well. So, that was my flight to Atlanta. On the way back, it was even more exciting because I got stuck in Paris again. I was in Paris for 3 days with a Johnny Cash impersonator who may or may not have been a sex offender. I'm never going to Paris again. Never. So, last time I was here was a year ago, and a year ago I told everyone that I had a new job. Like a real job, not one of these PhD student pseudo jobs. Proper job. And pay taxes and stuff like that. So now I've got a new job. So I got a job as a lecturer recently, and I started out with this. Anyone who teaches students in the room will know this phase, this new shiny phase where students are eager, bright young minds, and you want to fill them with your information and knowledge and wisdom. Because a few weeks into the job I contracted something very serious. I contracted Freshers' Flu. Now there are two versions of Freshers' Flu. There's version 1, which is a fun version. That's the student one, and you earn that. That's a badge of respect, that Freshers' Flu, because you've partied every night for a week. So it's brilliant if you can show up with that. The second one is the staff version, and that's when me, the lecturer, stands in front of you, and you cough and splutter and sneeze every conceivable germ you have in my direction. Which means I now have a different opinion of students, and that's that they are the viral infected, bacterial-ridden plague. And I'm trying not to let this affect my everyday life, but it's difficult when you've got a mask and gloves on to teach them. So anyway, I've got one piece of advice before I go, and that is if you see me in an airport, run. Don't even say hi, because you'll get caught up in some kind of drama that is my life. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest. Thank you.